morning, everyone. Today I'm going to discuss the eighth house in your chart and what do you bring to the table, because that's what the eighth house symbolizes. Now, before I go into that, I have to go through the other aspects in your chart so that when I get to the eighth house, you can see what it means, because there's a lot of people that are very confused about the eighth house and what it means, because you lose things there too. It isn't all about loss, it's about what you give or what you lose. Remember, there's always a duality in everything. There's always a black and white in every single house. Start off with the seventh house, where everything begins. This is your partner. This is your ideal partner. This is what you want in a partner. Let me give you an example. Let me use my chart as an example, and you could apply it to your chart. In my chart, I have Taurus in the seventh house. Right? So what do I find appealing in the other person? Well, the other person, Taurus is ruled by Venus. So Venus is a planet of beauty. So automatically, that person needs to be physically attractive in my eyes, okay? Or there's no deal. Also, what does Taurus represent? Stability, and it represents longevity. So that person needs to be stable and wants to have, a long relationship. That's another one. I know you might be asking, well, what about your Venus placement? Isn't that what you want in a person? I'm like, yeah, that further extends what you want in a person, because Venus, your natal Venus, symbolizes what you value, what are your values, and also how you express your love, okay? Now, my Venus is cusping between my first and my 12th house. So first house is ruled by Aries, okay? That's a leader. I need someone that's a leader, okay? And it's also cusping my 12th house, so it rules Pisces, and Pisces is a very understanding, kind of like a little artistic, but compassionate person. So I need that. I need both of that. Also, Venus is in Scorpio, so I express love very intensely. This is my way of communicating love, okay? So you could apply these for your chart. Now, Mars is what attracts us, the instinctual attraction that attracts us to a person that we can't control, because Mars rules the ego. Mars is a very maleficent planet. So where you have Mars, it's going to tell you what you're going to be mostly attracted to, or what you're going to mostly bump into in your life. For example, I have Mars in my 12th house, so usually I will meet people, in a secluded area like a studio. You can meet one in a hospital. You can meet one in an art gallery where there's nobody, okay? But their intentions might not always be the best, because Mars symbolizes maleficent energy that's not tame. So I also have my Mars in Libra, but this is how I handle, my actions. I think before doing. I weigh things before doing. So wherever your Venus is, my Scorpio Venus is how I, express my love. My Mars in Libra is how I direct the, how do I handle the action that I'm going to take, okay? So now that we've cleared it up, let's get closer to the eighth house. But before we get to the eighth house, we got to see what's going on in the opposite house, which is the second house. So the second house is what you value in life. Where do you place your values in life? For example, I have my values in Sagittarius, my second house in Sagittarius. So I place value on freedom, on philosophy. I need to have freedom in my life. I need to expand my life, okay? This is what I own, but nobody could take that away from me. This is what I value in my life, okay? I need to have that need of roaming around wherever I want, not be questioned, okay? Now I have Gemini in the eighth house. Now, what does the eighth house mean? Eighth house means what you give or what you lose, okay? Now, in this case, I have Gemini, and what I give to people is intelligence and intellectual energy, okay? This is the reason why I attract a lot of Geminis, because I do a lot of multitasking, just like a Gemini. So, say for example, I'm in an office, right? I meet someone, and they see that I'm multitasking different things. They're going to be attracted to that. They're going to be, wow, look at that. She could do so many things. Or let's say, for example, that I'm in a concert hall and I'm playing the piano and I'm singing at the same time, and then I get up and start dancing perfectly. Then they're going to be like, wow, she's wow, that's... And then on top of that, I could hold the conversation. That's going to blow their mind. And this is why I attract Geminis. But it doesn't necessarily mean that what you attract, you're going to like. Now, this is the reason why I clash a lot with Gemini. Because when they see that from me, and I'm giving that, they're giving me the same thing. They're giving me that same energy of, talking, doing multiple things. It's like a tentacle that I'm giving, and they're giving me back a tentacle. So it clashes automatically, and it's a turnoff. Okay, so they may be attracted to me, but then I will be repulsed by them. It's always the case. Okay, and then you can't really say that the sign you have in the seventh house is going to be the same sign, the same sun sign of the person you're going to meet, because I have Taurus in the seventh house, and I have a difficult time being around Taurus people, because it's just too stubborn of an energy, But it does mean the qualities of the Taurus, which is stability, longevity, the quality of the sign, which is stability, longevity, and all of that comes with the Taurus. That is the quality that maybe a Pisces sun person might have, that might offer. So now that we got that out of the way, now you see what it is that you bring to the table. And question, who pays on the date? Do you go 50-50? That's another thing. Okay, that also has to do with the eighth house, and a lot of people have trouble talking about it. It's very controversial, and people are always saying, well, there's an equality in the world. Everybody should have equal rights, and of course, everybody should be independent. Every living person should have the rights to vote, to work, to be their own independent person, because at the end of the day, you're gonna have to depend on yourself. If plan A doesn't work or plan B, you should never depend on anybody. But when it comes to relationships, there are two types of people in this world. There are the people that still have their primordial instincts, and then there are people that use logic. Okay, so really nobody really loses. Okay, let's say for instance you go on a date, right? And man or woman, let's use that as an example, and you go on a date. Who pays, right? Maybe the man wants to pay for everything. Maybe the man has primordial instincts. Maybe he wants to take care of the whole bill. He wants to take care of his lady. And then maybe the lady still has primordial instincts. Maybe she wants to be taken care of, and that's the courting, that's the foreplay of the relationship. That's what's going to keep that relationship going. Maybe you are a 50-50 person. Maybe you see relationships logically. Maybe you want to go on a date and you want to pay 50 because you feel like that's the way you want to keep it even, and that's how you're going to contribute. This works a lot. There's a lot of people out there, men and women, who want to do this. Okay, so really you just go with what makes you happy. I don't understand what's the issue. There's a lot of women that would not go all the way 50-50, and then there are men who would say, I wish I found a 50-50 person. But I'm serious about this. There are women out there. There's a lot of women out there, and just don't go tossing them out. So if there are people that can't satisfy your needs, why would you continue to ask them to satisfy them for you? That's actually going against their will. Now, to say that you want this law of 50-50 to apply for everyone is pretty much very selfish, because there are men who want to take care of the woman and will not accept 50-50 from the woman, and there are women who will not accept 50-50 and want the men to take care of everything. So they go together hand in hand. Why would you disturb that? Why can't you just go with a 50-50 person? That's the thing I don't really. So the next thing is, people say that sex is an energy exchange between two people. And yes, it is, but it's not an equal exchange. Okay, women think less of sex throughout the whole day. Men think sex of every day, throughout the whole day. So these energies, they're very, very different. It's not an equal exchange. So if the man wants to have sex every time he thinks of sex, then the woman would, be out of balance, because women don't think of sex too much. So it's not an equal exchange. A lot of people say this, but really it isn't. Another thing is that a woman has her genitals inside. Men have their genitals outside. So you really are entering somebody else, okay? That's like a sacred temple. A lot of men don't know, but to maintain a vagina is very expensive. You get your period, you gotta buy pads, and people who buy cups, now I know cups are now out there and they're very cheap, but not too many people want cups, because don't want to keep that menstrual blood inside all the time. Some people want to release it. Okay, they just find it better. But all that costs money. The gynecologist costs money. Every time you get a pap smear, it's like about what, $500. Huh? So when you change sexual partners, you have to go get a pap smear to see if you have abnormal cells. All right, that costs money. So that's another reason why women don't want to have sex as much as men do. All right, and also they have to shower afterward. So it's kind of like a task. It's kind of like a large task. So it's not an equal exchange. You have to note the additional fees. When a woman goes to a gynecologist, she's got to stop working, all right, and go to the gynecologist, go to the appointment, see what's going on down there, see if she has abnormal cells or whatever, after her new partner. She's going to miss work. She's going to miss her day pay, all right? That's another money. And if she has to come back for medicine, and some people are not holistic, she has to go back to medicine, she's got to pay for that medicine too, if she got sick or whatever. So trust me, sex is not an equal. Why sex is not also an equal exchange is because women don't always get an orgasm every time they have sex with their men. Okay, now studies show that she has more chances of having an orgasm by pleasing herself than having sex with a man, because sometimes a man just wants to get his and leave. So it's not an equal exchange. So you have to make sure that you and your partner have this clear in the 7th house of what it is that you want from each other. Okay, this should always be discussed at the very beginning of the relationship, no further, because you're just wasting your time. Now I hope this video helped.